Hello everyone, Michael the Librarian of Magic here, finding and cataloging the magical and pointing you to it. Today is October the 21st, only 10 days left in drawing a villain a day for the month of October, and I've got another drawing today, and I'm going to head straight into it. Today's villain is Yokai from Big Hero 6. Added a little splash of color to this one because of the kabuki-style mask that Yokai wears. I just thought it would kind of make it stand out. It looks visually confusing if you don't color it in. And it was just kind of a fun thing to draw. This was more of a quick sketch situation, although I did spend some time on the details of the coat and the gloves and stuff like that. But it was just sort of a random sketch type of exercise for me. And I'm not totally unhappy with the way it turned out. As I said, Yokai here is from the film Big Hero 6. And I'll tell you right here off the top, in talking about this villain, I will have to talk about some of the elements of the plot of Big Hero 6. So if you have not seen that movie and you don't want to know any of the details about it, then you've been warned now, because I have to go into some of the details here about the plot of Big Hero 6. Yokai is basically this professor named Robert Callahan who has a tragic event happen to him in his experimentations and goes crazy, basically, and wants vengeance for himself. He was the former head of robotics at the San Francisco Institute of Technology, and he was a mentor of Tadashi Hamada, who is Hiro's older brother, Hiro being the primary protagonist of the story. Tadashi was the inventor of Baymax, who was also an important and popular character from this film, and towards the beginning, Tadashi gets tragically killed in Callahan's attempt to steal all these microbots from the university when he is going crazy. He's successful at stealing the microbots, and Tadashi doesn't make it. And then that causes, Hiro to form the Big Hero 6 team, etc., and they eventually take down Yokai. He believes that his daughter is presumed dead in this portal accident experiment, but in fact she's in a sleep stasis and she gets rescued in the end of the movie. So kind of he gets arrested in the end, Robert Callahan, and he gets to see that kind of all of his vengeance was for naught, that his daughter was still alive, and in fact once she's rescued, he is being taken away in a patrol car and he hangs his head in shame. So that's kind of the ending of that character arc in the movie. The characters of Big Hero 6, the concept of Big Hero 6, is based on a Marvel comic, a Marvel series, called Sunfire and Big Hero 6, and then also subsequent Big Hero 6 versions. Their first appearance of most of these characters was in the comics issue Sunfire and Big Hero 6 #1, which premiered in September of '98, and was created by Stephen T. Siegel and Duncan Rouleau. The movie changes a lot of the visual aesthetics and style of the comics. They're really not that similar when you look at them. Story-wise, they're pretty similar. It's a team-up. Hero gets all of the Big Hero 6 team together and so forth. They didn't change that much of the bones of the plot, but visually they changed a lot. One example would be to show you what Baymax looks like in those comic books and what he looks like in the film, and you can see how the tone and style is drastically different. But yeah, those are the guys that created the Marvel comics. And with Yokai, when they were adapting it into the film, they were very cognizant of the fact that these are Marvel characters, and this is a Marvel-style villain. And like many other Marvel villains, Yokai isn't a villain in his own mind. He thinks that he's righteous. He thinks he's right, that he's avenging his daughter and all of this stuff, that he's been wronged, appropriately wronged. And that's the DNA of a lot of Marvel villains. The Disney version here of Yokai and a lot of the characters in the film was overseen by an animator named Jin Kim, who was the character design supervisor on this film, and there were a bunch of other animators that worked on these characters, but he was the design supervisor. Jin Kim was the first Korean animator to ever work at Walt Disney Animation Studios and has done since 1995. They have since had other Korean animators, but he was the first one back in 95, and worked his way up into being the character design supervisor of this film. And there's some really cool character design stuff in this. I think the way these characters turned out, particularly Baymax, turned out to be actually a pretty iconic set of designs. So, and Yokai's got a really cool, kabuki style design as well. The voice of Robert Callahan and Yokai was done by James Cromwell, who is an actor that has shown up in many things. He's one of those character guys that just seems to pop up in guest roles on TV and bit roles in films all the time. Many people would probably recognize him. One of his most famous roles was as Arthur Hoggett in the film Babe, for which he was nominated for a Best Supporting Actor Academy Award. In that nomination, he actually, just a weird little trivial side note, at 6'7" tall, he still remains the tallest actor ever nominated for an Academy Award. He was the voice of Colonel in the DreamWorks movie Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. He reprised his role of Robert Callahan in the Big Hero 6 series, animated series. He was Charlie the Robber Mulvihill in the 1994 remake of The Shaggy Dog for Disney. Also for Disney, he was in a film called Surrogates. He played Dr. Lionel Carter. He was in a film called The Rescue, in which he played a character named Admiral Rothman. He played Ogden Phipps in the film Secretariat, which is a favorite of my dad. He likes that story, and he really enjoyed that film. And then he's shown up in a bunch of side things, like I've said. He just kind of pops into things. You might recognize him from his role in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, or from his role in The Green Mile, or L.A. Confidential. He was even in a season of American Horror Story, the Asylum season. He plays a real creep in that season. He's like a weird, creepy doctor, and that role actually won him a Primetime Emmy. So you may recognize him from that. Anyway, he just shows up in all kinds of interesting stuff, and he's kind of taken on a bunch of different roles. And he's a distinctive-looking person, and he has a fairly distinctive voice too, but a very distinctive look. So James Cromwell did the work on this, and as I say, you may recognize him because he is in a lot of different stuff. So that's kind of the basic gist of Yokai, Robert Callahan from Big Hero 6. I hope that you enjoyed my drawing and learning a little bit about the character and the people that brought him to life. It was pretty fun, quick sketch to do, and interesting to talk about. I've been wanting to talk a little bit about Big Hero 6. It's a pretty cool little movie from the last 20 years or so of Disney Animation Studios. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching this, and I'll be back tomorrow with another drawing of a Disney villain and every day for the rest of October. I hope you'll join me then. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye.